What's up everyone, it's Austin Rutherford. Do you have your goals written down? Because if you don't have your goals written down, how do you even know where you want to go in the first place? Because without goals, you don't have anywhere that you actually want to be because you don't have a target to hit. If you actually want to achieve something, you actually need to know where you're going. If you look at all the successful people out there, they all have goals and they know exactly the direction that they're going. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how I set my goals for anything that I do. And PS, I have not always done it this way. I actually just started setting my goals in this way, and over the last 2 years that I've been doing this, I've had more success than I've ever had before. So make sure you listen up. So the first step is when you're writing down goals, is most people write their goals in the future tense. Like I will be, I want to do this. One day I will make $1 million. But the problem with that is that you're shooting for the future. So when you're writing goals, you need to write it in the present tense. You need to write it as if you already have it right now, because your mind subconscious starts to think of ways to actually make that a reality now. Too many people are looking out into the future when you really want that thing in the present. Think of it like this, manifestation, right? Most people believe that manifestation works. I am definitely one of those people. What is manifestation? Manifestation is when you think about something so many times and you become emotionally attached to that thing that it inevitably becomes real in your life. But why is that so? Because when you manifest, when you sit on your couch or your chair in the shower, or wherever you do your manifestations at, you're vividly thinking about you in motion and whatever that you want. So like if you want a car, you're putting yourself in that vehicle, driving the vehicle. If you want a house, you're putting yourself in that house and walking through the house. If you want to retire your mom, you're putting yourself in that situation the day that your mom retires. You're vividly in the now. You're not manifesting in the future. Like, hey, one day, 5 years from now, I'm gonna walk into this house and you're, picturing yourself older with gray hair. No, like you're doing it as if you had it right now. So when you manifest, it's in the present and it becomes real. So when you write down the goals, why are we writing goals for the future and not the present? So when you're writing goals, you have to write it in the now and not in the I will or the future. Secondly, it's always impact over income. Very early on in my career, a lot of my goals were based around money, lots of money, right? But over the last 2 years, if I look at my goal sheet, only 1 or 2 of my goals are financially based. All the other goals are based on impact. So when you go and impact people and you change other people's lives, it tends to work out, right? There's a saying that the more you give, the more you get. So if you base it around serving others and not yourself, I promise you, if you help 100 people become a millionaire, you will become a millionaire as well. And this is probably one of the biggest things I see most people fail in. And I got caught up in this for years. And the thing is, like, we set a goal, right? We want to make 100 grand or $1 million or $10 million or whatever that goal is. Picture it like this. Picture it like you're looking at the horizon. You're sitting on the beach, you're looking at the horizon. The ocean goes and then the sky hits and it's way out in the distance, right? So picture that as the goal that you want. And then think about it. Let's say there's a cruise ship like way out in the ocean, and then you work towards your goal, right? And the cruise ship is 70% of the way there. So you get 70% of the way to your goal as if you made it to the cruise ship. And then you look up to see the horizon only be 30% away. The problem is that the horizon has moved the same 70% as you have to that goal. The horizon is something that you can never catch. It's always moving forward. It's always the same distance ahead of you. So if you're setting your goals and you're basing your success based on hitting that goal, you'll never hit it, because it's just like the horizon. Your goals continue to move as well. Because in life, if you have a goal, we're humans, right? We always want more. If you have a goal of $100,000 and you get close, your goal is already $200,000 and then $500,000 or whatever that goal is. We measure ourselves and our success on hitting the goal. The problem is goals are supposed to be stretched anyways. They're not supposed to be like 100% easy to hit. So if you have a goal of making $1 million and you make 900 grand, but then you see yourself as a failure because you only made $900,000, yet the year before you made $100,000, so you 9x'd your income, that's incredible. Yet you're a failure in your own eyes because you didn't make it to that $1 million mark. So stop measuring yourself and your success and how you feel about yourself based on getting to the horizon, based on hitting that goal, because you can't do it. It's physically impossible. Rather, start measuring yourself on where you started to where you are currently. Because if you look backwards and see how much success you've had, that's the definition of success. Like, that's what'll make you happy, because you've grown so much in that month, year, or lifetime, or whatever it was, rather than feeling like a failure for not getting that last 10% and making it to the goal that you can never obtain. So what I did for 2021, instead of me measuring my success as to me hitting my goals, which I got very, very close, I've hit most of them and got very, very close to a lot of them. Previously, in previous years, I would have thought I was a failure. But in this year, I just learned about the horizon thing. So what I did is I actually wrote down every single thing that I accomplished during 2021. Not did I hit my goals, my accomplishments. And the categories that I wrote those on were personally, business number 1, which is real estate, business number 2, which is Elevate, the coaching program, cryptocurrencies, and family and friends. And I have a lot of other ways of making money, but those are my 2 bigger businesses. And a lot of my other income fall within those businesses. And the crazy thing that happens is like I achieved so much that I didn't even think about, but when I actually took the time to sit down and write it out, like I'm light years ahead of where I was at a year ago. But if I'd have done it how I previously did it in past years, I'd have been a failure to myself because I didn't hit the goals. If you have a goal of hitting $5 million, you hit $4 million, like is that a failure? No, it's not a failure. Like that's a wild success if you only made 500 grand the year before that. So stop measuring yourself on hitting the goals and start measuring yourself on how far you've come in that timeline. And like I said, I did that for 2021. I went backwards and looked, and it was like eye-opening to me to see where I've gone. And I definitely plan to do it in 2022 going forward and every year thereafter as well. So I highly recommend you take the time to sit down and look at your past year and see what you've accomplished. And remember, if you're building your goals for next year, which I do as well, you gotta have a target to hit, build it with impact over income and in the present tense, in the now, rather than in the future. If you start writing your goals like that, you'll start achieving more of them. And then lastly, with goal setting, if you share your goals with others, you become accountable to those people. Like I'm big on social media, right? Like I talk about the goals that I want to hit because there's hundreds of thousands of people and soon to be hopefully millions of people that are looking at me and actually have to do what I say I'm gonna do, right? So it's an accountability thing for me. So when you share that to your friends or your family, now don't share this to people that like are gonna poo-poo every single thing that you say. Share these goals and dreams with somebody who actually like wants more for you, that like understands success and growth and drive and all those things. But when you share it with those people wanna see you win as well. And they'll usually help you get to where you wanna go. Like that's why I make a lot of these videos. Because people are like, yo, how do you do blank? I'm like, oh, that's a great YouTube video. Boom, let's make a YouTube video on it. So one of my goals is to impact 1 million more people in 2022. One of the ways that I'm gonna get there is by YouTube. So if you could smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, it'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell as well so you can get all this content going forward. Share this to a couple friends. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could help me out. So comment below one of your goals for 2022. I'm gonna read all these posts, I'm gonna read all these comments, and I'm gonna try and help you get to where you wanna go. So comment below, let me know what your goals are. Let's all get to our goals here in 2022. So I sincerely appreciate you being here. I changed the way I started writing my goals last year, 2 years ago. So for the last 2 years, the way that I wrote my goals were different for the previous 6 years. And I've had way more success doing it this way. So hopefully that was valuable. Make sure you get your goals written out for 2022. If you haven't already, let's get things rolling. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next one.